In the heart of a sprawling cinematic empire, majestic towers pierced the skyline, each adorned with shimmering lights that told tales of triumph and fame. This empire, a colossal network of studios, directors, and star-studded films, was renowned for its captivating narratives that transported audiences to realms unknown. However, behind the glitz and glamour lay a deep-seated control powered by shadows, whispers, and an overarching ambition that overshadowed all. It was a kingdom ruled not just by wealth but by the relentless pursuit of perfection. Yet, amidst this carefully orchestrated machine, one woman emerged as a force unforeseen. Her name was Elara, a writer whose words flowed like silk, weaving intricate stories that captured the soul and spirit of her characters. To the Empire, she was an enigma, a talent they coveted yet struggled to contain. Each script she penned breathed life into the mundane, elevating it to an art form that was both beautiful and haunting. Elara's ascent within the film industry was both rapid and shocking. She swiftly became the darling of the elite, celebrated for her profound insights and emotional depth. But as her popularity soared, the thrumming heartbeat of the Empire began to falter. Those who once embraced her brilliance now whispered secrets of jealousy and fear. Power, after all, was a fragile thing, and Elara's unique perspective threatened the rigid hierarchy that had long dictated the course of cinematic art. With every project she undertook, the stakes grew higher. Executives, once enthralled by her imaginative flair, now felt the tightening grip of uncertainty. The very foundation of the empire seemed to tremble with each stroke of her pen. Elara, with her captivating narratives and unrelenting spirit, sided with the artists, the unsung heroes whose creativity was often stifled by the demands of commercial success. She became their voice, and in doing so, she unwittingly ignited a rebellion. As whispers of dissent began to echo through the marble halls of the empire, a rift formed that challenged the status quo. The empire's hierarchy, threatened by the unity Elara fostered among the creatives, employed their most cunning tactics to regain control. They launched smear campaigns, attempting to undermine her credibility, but Elara's authenticity shone brighter than any fabricated scandal. Each attack only solidified her resolve and drew more artists into her orbit. In the midst of this escalating conflict, Elara's influence grew, penetrating the very fabric of the cinematic world. Young directors sought her guidance, aspiring actors were inspired to dream more profoundly, and beyond the studio walls, her words sparked conversations that rippled through society. Elara was no longer merely a writer, she had become a movement, a force that stirred hearts and minds alike. But as the darkness within the empire deepened, so too did Elara's solitude. Friends turned to foes, and allies became adversaries. The very empire that once celebrated her success now saw her as a threat, a rogue comet whizzing through their meticulously crafted constellation. It was a dangerous game, the stakes were life and death, not just of careers but of souls. In an unexpected twist of fate, Elara uncovered a hidden scandal that threatened to bring the empire to its knees. A series of fraudulent practices, concealed from the public eye, were designed to maintain the illusion of glory. With the evidence nestled firmly in her hands, she faced a moment of reckoning. To expose the truth would dismantle the empire, a place that had once been her home and haven. Elara stood at a crossroads, engulfed by shadows of loyalty and betrayal. The weight of her decision bore down upon her, but in the deafening silence, she recalled the countless stories she had penned, the characters who had endured unimaginable trials, and the lessons they taught her about resilience and truth. In that moment of clarity, she realized that to remain silent would be a betrayal to the very art she cherished. With a deep breath, Elara chose her path. She picked up her pen once more, pouring words filled with fervent passion and steely resolve. In an open letter to the world, she unveiled the empire's secrets, each word unraveling the carefully stitched tapestry of deception that had long hidden their transgressions. The backlash was swift and ferocious. Fans rallied behind her, while the empire's empire began to tremble and fracture. As the dust settled, a wave of change washed over the cinematic landscape. The empire that had once seemed indomitable succumbed to its own hubris, revealing the cracks that had long been masked by its facade of power. Elara, now a beacon of hope, stood at the center of a new dawn, a community of artists and dreamers committed to reshaping the narrative. In the end, it was not just a woman who dismantled an empire, but an indomitable spirit that refused to be silenced. The collapse of the once great cinematic empire resonated like a haunting melody, reminding the world that beauty, truth, and artistry must never be shackled by the chains of control. As Elara walked into the sunset, her story continued to inspire countless others to rise, to speak, and to reclaim their narratives with grace and courage. The empire had beautifully collapsed, but from its ashes, a new legacy was born, one founded on authenticity, creativity, and the unbreakable bond of community.